improving your flexibility, your mobility, and getting into a more relaxed state. It's more than just doing the work and doing the exercises or going to the yoga class. Flexibility isn't just a mechanical challenge. It isn't just about the tissue, about lengthening the tissue or making the tissue itself just more flexible. It's also a nervous system challenge. So this is why I use things like neurofeedback. So these are two devices which help me more objectively understand what states, what brain states I'm getting into. And the cool thing is, if you feel relaxed, you likely are getting into more of these slower, relaxed brain waves and brain states. It just helps to make things more precise. But when it comes to flexibility and achieving the benefits you want, if you've been doing the same thing over and over again and not seeing much results, or maybe you have a practice, you've been doing it for years, you love it, but maybe you'd be interested in just trying something different. It doesn't come down to so much as changing the exercise itself or changing the position. It's about becoming more aware of how just subtle changes within the same position can help improve your specific tension. So you just got to explore. All right, one of my go-to favorite flexibility exercises, positions, is just a hip roll. And so I like to just start here with my arms open, feet pulled in, roughly 45, 90 degrees, whatever is comfortable, and then just checking in with yourself. So again, this is the subjective way to try and be more objective about where you're starting, what state you're in, and see physical sensations, what's coming up, thoughts, what's coming up, and try and just settle. Don't force the thoughts, just allow them to pass. Be non-judgmental. And then from here, I'll just start to slowly rock the knees. And I'm just always scanning my body, paying attention to any changes in these physical sensations, especially between the right and left side. And where you feel it, that's where you need to focus. So it's easy to get caught up with, am I doing the stretch or the exercise right? If you're present, if you're paying attention, you're aware of what you're feeling, you're most likely going to do it right, what's right for you, at least in that moment. So now I'm going to slide the knees up and then kind of pull into this fetal position. And now again, just checking in, just seeing how this feels. Where's there tension? From the head down to the tailbone, through the arms, through the legs, and everything can be modified. So I can add a pillow if I want to prop my head up more. I can roll back a little bit if that feels a little more comfortable than going all the way onto my side. I can change the surface that I'm laying on if I want something a little more cushioned. And then from here, what I'm going to first do is lock in my hips with one of my arms, then the opposite arm, so the arm on the top side, I'm going to place on my head and just start to roll here. So I'm rolling and rotating through my trunk. And by keeping the hand in, I'm taking a little bit of pressure off of my shoulder and the arm in general. So I'm focusing more on my spinal rotation. So from my hips, up the spine, into the shoulder blades. And then just sliding and switching. Again, just paying attention to any differences you feel. Between the right and left side, how does the range of motion feel? And sometimes it's tough to know exactly, so you can alternate. And I'm a strong proponent of taking video of yourself if you really want to see the changes, see the differences. All right, then you're going to go to where you have a comfortable stretch and you're just going to breathe here. So again, because this isn't improving my flexibility, isn't just about lengthening the tissue, it's also about relaxing the nervous system. So if I'm holding tension, if I'm guarding a position and I'm already uncomfortable, it's going to be really challenging to release that tissue and increase or improve your flexibility or mobility. So again, modify the position in any way you need, and you can focus the stretch through the hips, through the spine, or through the shoulder, whatever you want to focus on. There's no right here, it's what's best for you. And you can alternate, you can shift your focus, you can scan up and down. All right, now I'm going to take my hand that was pinning my legs together. I'm going to place it on the side of my ribs. So right around the armpit area. And I want you to feel the tissue around there right against the ribs, using just the tips of your fingers gently. And then exploring up towards the armpit. On my thumb side, I have my big chest muscle staying along the ribs, but you can feel that tissue. On my pinky side, I have my lats, my big back muscle, and then working into my shoulder blade and rotator cuff. And so pay attention to the physical sensations you feel as you're sliding along the ribs and working through that tissue. And again, use your breath to relax. Use the exhale to release tension. Using the inhale to go into tension. And expand, and then the exhale, relax and release. Just breathe in whatever way feels best right now. All right, then when you're ready, you can now reach the arm. So reaching the arm is going to increase the intensity because it's lengthening the tissue. It's lengthening what we'd call the lever. So it's actually increasing the load through the tissue around this armpit shoulder joint area. And so first I'm going to see where my range of motion is, keeping the knees stacked, still using my hand to kind of explore and feel the tissue around there through the ribs. Again, thumb side through the chest, pinky side through the lats and the shoulder blade. And you want to pay attention to where your true range of motion is without compensating the arm and shoulder. So like I can compensate and touch the floor, but if I hold this line where I'm holding the palm up, this is where I stop. So to continue, now I'm going to let my top knee lift, keeping my foot on the ground for support. I'm going to continue to roll until I can place that arm gently on the ground and relax in there. Again, working through that tissue, working through the ribs, and then I'm going to reverse that. So first I'm going to start to bring my legs together, find where that edge is. So my arm's still on the ground, my knees relax. I'm trying to bring my knee to the opposite knee, trying to stack my knees. But now I feel more tension through that stretch. And I'm going to slowly let the arm lift back up. You can either keep the arm straight or you can then place it back on the head, give it a little bit of a break. So you can do this for a full 30 seconds, minute, 2 minutes on each side and just keep exploring and observing that range of motion. And as you do this, towards the end of that time, if you're really finding relaxation, if you're really working through the tissue, you will feel a change in range of motion. You will improve your range of motion. And then it's important, because we are working the nervous system, always come back and then reset, because as you increase your range of motion, it's new feedback for your body, new feedback signals to the brain, and you want to try and continue having access to that range of motion. This is why in yoga we often finish with Shavasana, but you can come back to that T position with the legs bent. And what I like about this is that it allows my spine to just relax to the floor. So sometimes adding the legs straight makes it a little bit more challenging. It now puts me into an arch in that low back. And the reason I want to let that low back drop is because there are a lot of nerves. Your spine, where your spinal cord is, think of that as just like the trunk of a tree, and all the roots just extend out of that. So we're allowing those roots to just kind of relax and reset, allowing the tissue to relax and allowing you to feel those sensations and feel the new range of motion. And sometimes I also like to even bring the knees up and just rock into here. So again, if you're trying to improve your flexibility, if you've had a long practice and you're not seeing change, or you just want to try something different, stick with the same exercise, choose an exercise. It's not always about changing the exercise or the position itself. It's about just spending more time in that position and allowing yourself to really become more aware of your range of motion, of the edges of where tension increases and decreases, and then using your breath and using your hand, using your own body to give yourself self-massage and input and feel those changes. But don't get caught up on, are you doing it right or wrong? Focus on what you're feeling, all right? If it feels right, you're probably good.